partnered by Times Influence.
Hearty good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Entrepreneur Media and BusinessX.com to a summit that is aimed at change, thinking, and growth mindset. This is the Entrepreneur India 2017, the 7th annual edition. So, ladies and gentlemen, to give it a beautiful head start and to set the tone for this fantastic edition, I'd now like to invite on stage our dynamic, vivacious editor-in-chief, Ms. Ritu Maria. So please put your hands together.
A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to Entrepreneur India 2017, the 7th edition of the show. You know, each year we've tried to make this show richer year on year by inviting thought leaders, global business people, professional leaders, and they've added new ways of thinking into the entrepreneurial ecosystem of India, new ways of really starting, managing, and growing a business. This year, the theme of our entire convention is building a sustainable business. Because at Entrepreneur, at Franchise India, we really believe that businesses should be built to last. So entrepreneurship for me is about self-discovery. The entrepreneurs are really all about having a big imagination rather than looking at what the world would do. It's about imagining what you would want the world to look like. And good entrepreneurs, I would say, are nakedly ambitious. They are so hungry that everybody can see that about them. And that is why, you know, opportunity sort of never stops knocking on the door. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Ritu, for setting the tone and sharing your perspectives as well. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our first keynote speaker for the summit. In fact, our topic of discussion is also to do with transforming India through creativity and innovation. Please put your hands together once again to welcome Shri Amitabh Kant.
Ritu Maria, Gaurav, Dr. Bimal Jalan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure and a delight for me to be here to deliver the keynote address of this unique event on entrepreneurship. India is growing at about 7.6% per annum, but the challenge for India is to grow at even higher rates over a 3-decade period. We are a very young country, it's an old civilization, young country, but we are passing through a window of demographic transition, which rarely happens in history. 72% of our population is below the age group, and therefore it's necessary that India creates wealth during this period. The government has tried to do several things. One is that over the years, we've made India very complex, very difficult, and a country with a lot of procedures and paperwork. In the last 2-3 years, we've tried to dismantle a lot of rules, regulation, procedures, and paperwork. We've scrapped almost close to 1,200 laws, which had never happened before. You could today register a company in one day on the net. If you are an MSME, it takes you exactly 5 minutes to register your MSME today. The number of forms for import and export have been reduced from 11 and 9 to just 3. These are all measures towards making India a very easy and a very simple place to do business in. And therefore, our attempt has been that there are huge opportunities in India which should be tapped by young entrepreneurs. We've pushed for the startup movement in a very big way. We've created a fund of funds so that young entrepreneurs can have access to funding through a vast number of venture funds. The fund of funds supports a number of venture funds. And once venture funds support a number of startups, this ecosystem of startups will grow and flourish. In the last 1 year, India has witnessed a jump of about 29 ranks in the Global Entrepreneurship Index. And we have jumped up very substantially in the Asia-Pacific region as well. And I just wanted to say that actually the western part of the world, the America, for instance, is a very innovative society. But the innovation taking place in Silicon Valley in terms of war machine, in terms of drones, in terms of driverless cars, I mean, there you have innovation, but those are innovations which are not relevant for a country like India. India needs innovation to ensure that we are able to provide fluoride and arsenic-free water to our people. India needs innovation to ensure that our farmers are able to get seed and fertilizer on a real-time basis depending on the weather and soil condition. India needs innovation to ensure that we are able to keep India sewage-free. And if India is able to find solution to these problems of India for its 1 billion people, actually it will be finding solutions for the next 7 billion people of the world who will be moving into middle class. And therefore, the market is not just India for you. And the market will be the 7 billion people who will move into the middle class. And therefore, my view is that young entrepreneurs like you shouldn't look at just the domestic market. And all of you should really become the biggest disruptors in the society. And it will not be possible for India to grow and create jobs. Let me tell you this. It's not the large companies which create jobs. There are several studies across the world, including one by Kaufman of the United States, which says it's not the large companies which create jobs. It's the young entrepreneurs, it's the young startups, it's the young people who create jobs. And therefore, as you disrupt India, as you drive India technology, you will be creating jobs. And therefore, if India has to have growth with jobs, it's young entrepreneurship. And many of you must aim for this big ticket disruption in India. This is the golden age, and you must seize this huge opportunity to drive India technologically, frugal engineering, and create wealth for India and create jobs for India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's now time to march ahead to our next very esteemed keynote speaker as well. Well, he's somebody who needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Suresh Narayanan.
You're all entrepreneurs here, or people who are already in business, people who want to be the next Bill Gates, or the Steve Jobs, or the Narayana Murthis, or the Premjis. You have hopes, you have aspirations, you have ambitions, you have technology, you have visions, you have education, you have the blessings of everyone, but you still need to get there, and sometimes there is a problem in not getting there. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. My story is not of a tech entrepreneur who's made it big and who's lost it, or who's trying to make it big. Mine is a simple story of a guy who didn't want to be a corporate fellow, landed up being a corporate fellow. Right? I wanted to be an IAS officer, and I went for the Hindustan Lever interview and got the job. And then my dad told me, you're getting only 30% less than me, might as well take the job. So like every typical middle class chap in my generation, I took the job and spent my career over 30 years in the consumer goods industry. And what I'm going to be talking to you guys are some principles that I've learned. So these are very, very basic things. All of you know about it, but some of us don't seem to be wanting to practice it as we do it. As entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, when you are the leader of the pack, you never leave. The more successful you become, the more you are driven by your own personal egos and ambitions, and the success goes to your head. The tragedy of organizations is not in the weak strategies that are being written. It is in the lousy executions that are being perpetuated. Your job as an entrepreneur is to focus not only on the operating excellence of the company, not only on counting all the revenues that come in and all the profits that you make, but on defining what the purpose of your organization is. What is it that you stand for? What is it that your customer stands for? What is it that your employees stand for? And what are the values that you will never, ever compromise? If you realize that, then you will come to a simple truth that people are at the heart of everything that you do. In the end, in whatever you do to get your mojo back, institutionalize the learnings. And this is what we did. We put together a very simple model for our people. Models that they can understand on why we need to grow and what we need to do. So that even when we have the next crisis, we find our mojo. Finding collective mojo is more difficult than finding an individual mojo. but you need to have that institutionalized. And so we said, therefore, whether it was in terms of learning, whether it was in terms of caring, whether it was in terms of order, what would be the kind of initiatives that are important for us as a company to institutionalize the learnings coming out of a crisis so that the culture enables you to be a kind of an inoculation against future crises. So may I only wish you in the end that your mojos may be converted to more mojitos so that you can celebrate the victory not only of getting your mojo back, but ensuring that your organizations sustain themselves into the future. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
So great to be here at the Entrepreneur Summit, and wonderful to see a lot of entrepreneurs here. Well, we've recently had the demonetization, which took place sometime November, December of the last year, and which completely rewrote the way banking was done in our country. It was possibly the most significant disruption that we've seen. But yes, coming to, if you look at disruption specifically, there are three broad items which are driving disruption in our country, like many other parts of the globe. One is, of course, in our case, it's demographics. Then, of course, you have deregulation, and then you have digitization. So first of all, this might be a slightly different statement. Globally, people want more than banks. Now, it would have been a difficult one if I would have said that people don't trust banks. But the fact of the matter is, after the 2008 financial crisis, which I'm sure most of you are well aware of, there was this feeling of mistrust that a lot of people got. And largely banks were used for payments. Largely it was, yes, the traditional business of banks was credit, and there was another part which was payments. So of course the modern customer today is looking at avenues to make payments which do not involve banks. So the Generation Y has completely moved away from the traditional banking setup. No one wants to transact on, people don't use cash. When you come to digital transformation, George Westerman from MIT Sloan had once said that when done well, digital transformation will transform a caterpillar into a butterfly. But if it's done badly, it will transform it into a caterpillar that will eat rather fast. So you have to be very, very careful when you get into digital transformation. It's not like you just decide to digitally transform and it happens the next day. Of course, our idea is to create and develop and, if I may use the word, peacefully coexist and co-opt, get processes, automate processes so that we take India into the future as a truly digital economy. On behalf of my CMD, Mr. Rana Kapoor, as well as Yes Bank, thank Entrepreneur India for this opportunity to speak. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'd like to welcome all of you to 7th Annual Entrepreneur India Awards 2017. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the first set of awards.
I would please request Mrs. Neelam Pratap Rudi to please come on the stage. Mrs. Ratan Kaul, Vice President, Indian Council of Human Relations. And Ms. Shubha Rajan, Senior Advisor at CII.
All right.
On that note, moving on to the first category.
Yes, our first category is Entrepreneur of the Year in Service Business Food, something that we all are really interested in.
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Mr. Varun Chaudhary, Executive Director, CG Corp Global. Congratulations.
They say we understand consumer insights and meet their needs with safe, effective, and world-class products. Congratulations, Varun.
Ladies and gentlemen, next category is definitely my favorite. Entrepreneur of the Year in Service Business Fitness. And the award goes to Mr. Akshay Verma, co-founder FitPass. Congratulations!
And they say that working out should work out. Wow, I like that. With that fitting of the suit, I'm sure he definitely works out. Huh? His shoulders on the suit. आज back मारिए. And moving on to the next category, Creative Entrepreneur of the Year. Please give it up for Mr. Dilip Chhabria, CMD, DC Design.
Woo! Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. He's an Indian car designer and the founder of DC Design. He designed and manufactured DC Avanti, considered India's first supercar. Wow, congratulations.
Okay, guys, moving forward to the next award. Talking about
Woman Entrepreneur of the Year.
yeah.
Yes.
Give it up for Miss Shelly Chopra, founder SheThePeople.tv.
Woo! Congratulations.
Moving on to the last award. The last category is Entrepreneur of the Year.
And it goes to
Mr. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, founder Paytm. Congratulations.
a company is worth the company it keeps. Congratulations, the Entrepreneur of the Year. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं.
I'm really pleased and honored to receive this award. It's a great platform for initial entrepreneurs. Since I have set up an office for Admitad in India and APAC, so I'm really honored to get this award, and I'm really thankful to Entrepreneur India to give this platform to people to showcase their work and things they have done. So what I think it's very important, so I look at it as a circle. There's what, how, and why. So it's very important to know why you want to actually start the business, because there's so much hard work that goes behind actually creating a successful enterprise. So it's very important to know why you want to do what you want to do. So that's something I spoke about. In terms of the meta level, I spoke about how just very simply that you have to assess the demand and the supply, because that's what I think is very important.
So, you know, it's an interesting journey. Vodafone grew from $0 to $1 billion, or Vodafone Business Services grew from $0 to $1 billion in the space of 6 years. As a result, we still think like a startup, and we understand the pains that a startup goes through. And that is what comes together when we put the portfolio of solutions that we offer together. We always think of the customers of the startup. We think of what we can do to help the startup serve their customers better, starting from the point where they set up a business, to how they start putting processes in place, to how they start acquiring customers, and to how they start making their people more and more empowered and driving more and more collaboration.
Big brands have usually come about to be big, and they have huge structures behind them, and that really gives a lot of inertia into the space. So the new initiators have the agility, because they can really do something much faster, which the big brands are not able to compete on the time scale or even on the cost scale.
So Entrepreneur India is a huge platform for entrepreneurs and young entrepreneurs like us. So this is the right platform where we can prove our capabilities at a very small age.
Definitely. Generally, people think that entrepreneurs don't require any recognition like that. But definitely, everyone will require a recognition for whatever they do. Some appraisal or whatever kind of recognition is required. So that is what Entrepreneur India or Franchise India is doing. So they have created a great platform for the entrepreneurs to showcase what they have done and compete with other entrepreneurs and get an award for that.
Well, entrepreneur is a reputed name if you talk about the magazine industry, particularly for the budding entrepreneur. It is one of the landmark which has been created in this industry. And yes, if entrepreneur is coming along with ET now, which is one of the most reputed business channel, even as an entrepreneur, I watch the same channel. So yes, definitely, it's one of the best platform to give to the new entrepreneurs who are budding up. So yes, it's a great platform.
We at eBrands help small businesses grow online using online mediums like search and optimization, social media, pay-per-click. winning this award is very important for us because it showcases all the good work which we do. Entrepreneur and this award and this function in general is a tremendous platform for all entrepreneurs.
I'll give you an example for ourselves. At Numbers, we are actually trying to disrupt the way entrepreneurs do their business banking. Events and awards like these actually is the best validation and the best place that you can actually facilitate ideas and partnerships. And this is a right step towards fostering the overall ecosystem for startups to flourish. So I think it's very critical that events like this actually gets participation and get promoted as much as possible.
I'm feeling great to have this award because 3 years before also, I got award from Franchise India, a Women Entrepreneur Award. After that, my life has quite changed. People started knowing me, and I will say I have got the best opportunity in last 2 years. I don't know what I will get after that. I'm feeling very high.
It's really a great platform because G7CR technology today has a vision of reaching out to all the SMBs in the country. And this kind of a platform which gives us recognition helps us build trust, helps us connect with our customers, our would-be customers. And honestly speaking, it's almost ensuring that we become a big business. So again, this is a great platform and should be encouraged on all fronts.
See, the platform is good because as we see, the number of entrepreneurs and number of startups are increasing these days in the country, and it's good to get recognized on a platform, a common platform for entrepreneurs where they can come and meet and discuss. That's something which is good.
Partnered by Times Influence.